Okay, welcome back to my channel, people. All right, welcome back. I'm trying to get this light in before it goes dark. The sun's going down, so we're trying to get these videos in real quick. Okay, so this video specifically, if you see the title, it's about the cancellation of and just like that. And how do I feel about it? Let's talk as a diehard Sex in the City fan. Let's talk about it. Where I am with this cancellation. How I feel. Do I care? Am I like the other, millions of Sex in the City fans around the world? Should it's been canceled a long time ago? Let's talk about it. Because I'm ready to talk about it. Shoot, I'm ready to talk about it. So if you want to hear my opinion about the cancellation of Just Like That, please give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we just gonna go right into it because we're gonna have some girl talk, some real girl talk for a bit, so I can get more of my life. All right, so okay, so we gotta take it back. If you are a diehard Sex and the City fan like I am, I right now still watch Sex and the City. If you ask Big Reese today, what do Regina watch on repeat? He's gonna say Sex in the City. I will watch the whole series like I never seen it. And every other week or so, I'm gonna watch Sex in the City the movie. And then maybe once every couple of months, I may watch the second movie because I like the first movie way better than the second. But I still will watch the second. But if I'm want to watch the movie, it's going to be the first Sex in the City. Like, that's just what it is. Is there something that's crawling on me? Disrespectful. But so when the series ended, when the movies ended, after the second movie, there was nothing really more that we needed, that I felt that Sex and the City needed to say. I think they said everything after the second movie. Like, I get the second movie, it was really pretty much about cash cap. They wanted to make a little money. There's nothing wrong with that. But did they really need to make the second movie? Not really. Because I don't even think the fans really loved Sex and the City too. I don't think so. And I think the critics were pretty hard on Sex and the City about the Dubai and all that Middle Eastern stuff. So I don't think the second movie was that well received anyway. But I get it. I think it still did really big numbers in the box office anyway because of Sex and the City fans. We're true diehard fans. So anything that's Sex and the City based, we're going to go and watch. So when just like that came out, I was actually really excited to see Carrie and the gang back on the scene. But when it already started off badly without Samantha. Now, at first, like the first season, I was like, as much as we would love to see Samantha, if Samantha don't want to come back, I don't think it'd be that much of a big deal if Samantha didn't come back. But watching the seasons, I've learned how big of a role Samantha had. Samantha really had a big role. And it missed a lot of Samantha's flavor, if you will. Because in Just Like That, it became a little boring for me, especially this season. The other two seasons, believe it or not, was so unmemorable. I don't even remember really what happened last season. I remember that happened the first season, and it was a big thing with Che. And I don't even know what happened to Che. Like, they just disappeared with Che. Did she move to California? Like, what happened to Che? Her and Miranda broke up, and I never heard from Che again. Like, she was the boss, and she had a cat. No, and I never heard from Che again. Like, what happened with Che? I actually liked Che. And I see what they were trying to do with the series. They were trying to be a little bit more inclusive. They were trying to explore the ideas of non-binary and educate us in the process, and gay, straight. They were trying to include us in all of this, the new movement of the era. And I appreciated that. I really did. So the first season, I didn't hate the first season. Like, I didn't hate it. I was like, oh, okay, you know, I can watch, and I think the fans actually, the glare was just driving me crazy, but I think the fans was not happy. I wasn't too angry about what I saw season one, you know, so I was like, okay, so season two come around, and season two again, I don't quite remember what happened with season two. I only can remember the end of season two, and that was her, Carrie and Aiden's relationship. She literally packed up, moved out of her apartment, got this big old place in the country, wherever she is, and then at the end, at the last supper or whatever, Aiden decides that he's not ready to make a commitment. He needs to stay back for his children all night, and Carrie uprooted her whole life and moved into this place for them, and he's not even there. And then he asked her to wait for 5 years. After that, I was just like, what? Like, what? I was like, during the season two, I was like, why is Carrie moving so fast? Even when she moved so quickly to be with him. Like, I am selling my apartment, I'm getting something new, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was wondering season two, like, why is she moving so fast? I didn't understand why she was moving so fast. And then it was very predictable what was going to happen at the end of season two, and that's exactly what happened. That they did not end up together. This season, I said to myself, episode two, I said, why is this still a show? I was like, to myself, me and my friend Vicky, was like, what is happening? When you think about Sex in the City has a plot. It had a plot. 4 single girls in New York City, 20, 30-year-old something girls in New York City is trying to figure out love in a big city. This plot, I didn't know the plot anymore. I was like, what is the plot of And Just Like That? Is it 4 single girls in New York City in their 50s trying to find love? So I began to question, what do I care anymore? Do I care about these women in their sex life? And I started going individually through the storylines, like, why don't I care about this? Nicole Ari Parker. Let's start with her. I didn't care at all about what was going on in Nicole Ari Parker. I like to look at her. She's a beautiful girl. But at the start of the season, I think season one, it was about the school or something, right? Her and Charlotte became besties because of the school thing. They had some school stuff in common with the girls. And now season 3, I don't even know what Nicole Ari Parker is doing. I think she's running the Mac. What is she doing? I'm not even exactly sure what the hell she's doing. Is she a producer? I don't really know what the hell she's doing. Like, honestly. But they're trying to spice up her storyline by saying that she's attracted to this young fella, but now it doesn't really matter. It's not even going to be developed. The story's not going to be developed because their series is canceled. I'm like, so, but that story in general was just flatline. She was beautiful to look at. She had big, beautiful clothes, but a show have to be more than just clothes, unless it's a show about clothes. You know, like Project Runway. I love Project Runway. That has a plot. You know, I know what Project Runway is about. But this was a show, but it had to be about way more than just clothes. So I had no interest about what Nicole Ari Parker was going through. Her husband trying to be a senator, them not having sex. Nothing made sense with Nicole Ari Parker and why she was even there. Like, she was just a character on the show, but really had no real relevance to be there. Then Miranda's storyline is actually the most interesting because they gave her a little bit dimension. She went from straight with a husband and a son, but with that dynamic, they missed. Why did they cut out? I don't know if that was intentional, but why did they cut out? What was her husband? Steve. Steve played a big role in Miranda's story for many, many years, for a whole series and 2 movies. And now all of a sudden, Steve is not in the series at all. He just made a special guest appearance last week about their son with the baby. Why is he not in Why is he not a staple in the show? He should be a staple. But they gave her dimension at least. Now she's dating a female, and I think in her real life she may be gay, and maybe they were trying to make it that she was tired of being a straight woman when she's gay, and it'd be more natural. And she looked like she's happy, being, if that's who she really is. I think that's who she really is. But if that's who she really is, it looked like she's happy being that, being straight. Being gay, because that's who she actually is in real life. So I'm happy for her, and it give her a more interesting storyline. Her and her son with the new baby. So her story, but again, with her career, I don't know what Miranda does, because she started off in the series as a lawyer, in the movie as a lawyer. This series, she was in college for something, and then she never went to the program. I think she was supposed to go to California for a program, and she never went to the program. Season 2, I'm not sure what she did for a living. And this season, is she an internet person? I'm not sure what she's doing now. I know she did something online. Is she an internet person now? So their character development is an issue, because I don't know what's really happening with my ladies at this point. So again, the Carol Every Parker, I don't really care. Miranda, she is kind of interesting, but they need to do a better job at developing these characters, because we're like, what? It's not making sense if it's trying to follow Sex in the City. If this was a separate show, maybe, but it gotta connect somehow to Sex in the City, and it's not connecting to Sex in the City, and that's the problem. They're missing that this was one Sex in the City. So we're looking at these women as women from Sex in the City. We know these women. So when you're changing them, it has to make sense if you're changing them. It has to make sense. So again, Nicole Parker, boring. Miranda, she's mid. Let's talk about Charlotte. I used to like Charlotte in the series because she was the hopeless romantic, just cute as a button. She just loved love. She just wanted to be married. She just wanted to have a family. And she had that. And she met the person that she ended up marrying, and she's still with him. And she's still in the gallery. To me, it just hasn't, for Charlotte, it hasn't progressed any. You should own the damn gallery by now. Like, there's something more should be happening with Charlotte and these galleries. I don't know if you should have some. You should be traveling the world as an art director. I don't know. Something should be moved along with these gallery things. You know what I mean? It's just missing something. I don't know what's missing here. I didn't know what was missing. But it was just bland. Like, there was no flavor. There was no salt to the story. Like, it was just bland. Each storyline was just bland. Nothing was interesting with none of the stories. So Charlotte's had children and Rock, and they didn't want the he, she, and then her husband now has colon cancer, and I think he's cured from colon cancer. I'm not exactly sure. I think we're on the last episode. I think it's really going to be over after this week. But I think he may be cured from colon cancer. I'm not 100% sure. The last episode, when she saw him in the hotel, I thought I was finna get some exciting shit, straight up. I thought she was finna get hit for the bombshell when she asked him, "What are you doing here?" I thought he was finna say she caught him having an affair. That would have been an interesting storyline. They came up and said, you have a personal shopper. What the At that very moment, I said, who the hell? What is this boy doing? Hold on a second. Wait, what is he doing? Okay, whatever he's doing. But I said, at that very moment, I said, what the hell? I don't know. Do he got his door open? Because that shit is loud as hell. personal shopper. Hold on. Okay, so uh, but yeah, so that would have been an interesting storyline. Like that would have been different. That would have been something if he didn't have colon cancer at all and he was lying and the whole time he was having an affair. That would have been an interesting storyline. The perfect relationship is not so perfect anymore. He's not happy in his marriage anymore. It's too perfect for him. He wanted something different. He wanted something like that would have been interesting. And the girls have to help Charlotte through, infidelity, something that she never had to deal with. Something like that. There's just no salt. Sex in the City gave dimension. Sex in the City gave emotion. You had love triangles. You had, crying. You had tears. You had emotions. You had sadness. You had happiness. You had everything in Sex in the City. And just like that, you're just not getting anything. It's literally one dimensional. It's just here. It's just here. It's pretty to look at. But that's it. That is literally it. And then Carrie lost the momentum as soon as Mr. Big died. Mr. Big was a huge part of Sex in the City. It was Carrie and Big. And in the first episode, not the second season that he died, you killed Mr. Big in the first episode. Where the hell do you go from here? When you kill Mr. Big, we didn't even get to see them anymore living their life. After the first episode, you kill Mr. Big? What happens? So I think that was one of the biggest mistakes that they ever made when they killed off Mr. Big and then tried to replace him with Aiden. And that storyline was just a joke. That storyline was a joke. From the moment they got together, that was a joke. He have kids. Yes, he had kids. They're living in a barn. Carrie's going up there to visit him. She got to hide. Like, what? You're 50 and you're hiding in a barn because you don't want to make the kids upset? What? And you're okay with this? You're agreeing with this? And you're 50? Why? You're doing all of this to be with him? Why? All of this to be with Aiden? You're hiding away. You don't want to speak up. You don't want to hurt his feelings. You got this big place. He's only coming to visit every now and then. You're not even decorating because you don't feel like home. You don't want to be there unless Aiden was there. Now Aiden's not going to be there. Now you want to get rid of it. Why did you move in the first place? Because you wanted to be with somebody so bad after Mr. Big? Did he ask you to wait 5 years? Who waits 5 years at 50? You might not even have 5 years. And you ask somebody to wait for you for 5 years, and then you come around season 3 and say, oh, I slept with my ex-wife, and then she's like, oh, I understand that. What? You understand that? That when does that really happen? Is that realistic? Will somebody really say that and then turn around and still sleep with you anyway? Does that really happen? And then what happens? He gets jealous of the man downstairs. Then she's getting mad at her friends because they're saying that there's chemistry with the man downstairs. She finally give in to the man downstairs. She break it up with Aiden, and then the man downstairs gets the draws, and then say, "Oh, he's leaving and going to London, I think, and he's not returning." Once again, leaving this girl hopeless with no man, with no love in sight. Like, why can't Carrie have it after ever? Like, why does everything got to be a struggle? Like, what is happening? She went from Mr. Big to Aiden to the guy downstairs, all left her in some kind of form of capacity. All gone in some kind of form of capacity. Like, what is happening with Carrie and her love life? Why are we writing Carrie as this downtrodden woman that can't keep a man of some sort? Like, what's happening with Carrie? She was Carrie at one point in time. Everybody knew Carrie in New York City. Everybody loved Carrie in New York City. She's that girl. Why is it that she keep getting these men that's not up to her standard? Like, what's happening? Why are we writing Carrie these men that she don't belong with? Huh? What's happening? It's weird. And what happened to the radio station that she was doing? Like, she was a radio host at one point in time. That just disappeared with Shay, and now she's an authoress. Now she's writing her first novel. Like, what is going on? So everything is just, it's just here with it, just like that. There's nothing exciting that happens. There's nothing fresh that's happening. There's nothing new that's happening. There's nothing interesting that's happening. And that's the problem. There's nothing interesting to hold the people. And that's why people is complaining about it's trash, it's boring, it's this, it's that, because it technically is. What's with Samantha not having Samantha on that show? It let me know Samantha brought a certain spice, a certain energy, a certain carefree, a certain something to Sex in the City that we're missing. Even though that they're 50, they're all acting like they're not sexy women anymore. They're 50-year-old old women. And that's how it's being written. Like they're 50-year-old old women. And their lives are old. They have Charlotte as having vertigo and she can't stand up. She fell in. They're writing it as 50-year-old women. They're not writing it as 50 and fabulous women. They're writing it 50-year-old women. And maybe 50-year-old women and up would enjoy it, but that's not Sex and the City's demographic. Their demographic is the millennials, 30, close into 40, because I didn't turn 40, so 30, 40, and now the younger generation has been introduced to Sex and the City, so a little bit younger now. So they can't write and just like that and just be these old women doing old things. They need to still do the fabulous thing that they was doing in Sex and the City. Glamorous clothes, fashion shows, going to trips, dating these hot women, going to club. What they need to bring the fun back, the sexy back into the series, and not so old because it's boring. And Samantha brought the sex, and if they was just completely going away from that part of this because Sex in the City was pretty much about sex. They had sex a lot. So if they were trying to really move away from that and let sex be not the main character, because in Sex in the City it was the main character. So if there was not trying to make it be the main character anymore, just a secondary thing, then their storylines needed to be a lot more better than what it is. Because right now the story was bland, no flavor, just dull as a doorknob, and that's exactly why it failed. So they needed some fresh writers. They needed some younger folks in their writing for them, creating a great script before they did anything. So I say, from here on out, since it's canceled, let it die. Sarah Jessica Parker, for the life of me, do not try to reboot this again under no circumstances. Let Sex in the City live and let it die peacefully. Do not try to reboot it a third time. Don't try to call it something else. Don't try to say Sex in the City 2. Don't try to reboot Carrie anymore. Let Carrie, a character that has taken over your life for your entire career, let Carrie die. Let her live. She did more than what she came, she conquered, and she did what she came to do. Let's forget about and just like just like that end, and we never have to come back to it, and just like that, and we can just say, there was a time in history that never have to be talked about ever again. Because I doubt if anybody go back and watch it just like that, because we don't need to. And just like that didn't give anything. It didn't give anything, right? So we didn't learn anything more. We didn't need and just like that. So if you wanted to reboot Sex in the City, you don't rush that. You don't rush that. You go back to the drawing board and you find something interesting to say, and not just for a paycheck. You find something interesting to say that we want to hear, okay? That we want to hear, and then make it good when you put it on screen. Don't just put anything on screen. Make it good. Don't disrespect the legacy that is Sex and the City ever again. Sarah Jessica Parker. Okay? Let it die if you don't have anything good to say. All right? But that's my review of And Just Like That. Am I sad that it's going? No, I thought it should have been gone. Episode 2, season 3, episode 2. I literally said this show need to be canceled. If you go to my Facebook, I literally said this show need to be canceled. Episode 2, because I didn't understand what was happening anymore. I was watching episode 2 and was like, I don't know what's going on. Why is this show even being made? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know the plot of this. I don't know the reason that this show is even on TV. And it's not good. It's not a good show. And from a diehard Sex and the City fan. Okay? I watch Sex and the City regularly on Netflix. Okay? And on Hulu. And now HBO. I'm going to eventually cancel HBO once. And Just Like This is off for good. Once I see the last episode, I'm going to have to cancel it. Because I don't really watch HBO like that anyway. There's nothing on HBO that I really need to see, and I don't want to pay for another prescription. So bye HBO Max after And Just Like That is over. Okay. So again, no, I'm not sad about it. Because it needs to go. It needs to go bye. I'm glad that it's going bye. Let's not touch Sex in this City again, Sarah Jessica Parker. Leave it alone, and we will leave you alone. We look forward to seeing what you do in the future, Miss Sarah Jessica Parker, with something else new. Something else new. What happened to your show, Divorce? I used to love that show. That was a good show. That was canceled on HBO. Like, something new, Miss Parker. Do not bring us another Sex in the City. And I actually saw, I don't know how true this is. I hope this was just somebody making up a lie that was on Facebook and said Sarah Jessica was canceled on HBO Max. Sarah Jessica Parker already is shooting it on to Hulu and Netflix for it to continue on their streaming services. And she wants full control. I'm gonna need you, if that is true. I hope that it's not true, and I hope somebody just made that up. If I can find it, I'll put it like right here so you guys can see it. But I'm hoping that is not true, and somebody just created this false narrative. And yeah, I'm hoping that's not. Let it die, because they said she was one of the reasons why it died in the first place. Her and the creator. They think it was time for it to close the chapter because the fans wasn't satisfied. Then let it die. If that is the case, please let it die. I don't want to hear anything else about Sex and the City and Just Like That. Okay? All right? So again, it's over. I'm okay with it being over as a Sex and the City fan. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see another reboot. I do not want to see it. We didn't get anything new from this series. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't fun whatsoever. It was a little too old for our taste, and not enough glamour. Not enough glamour, not enough sex, and not enough fun. Okay? So that's my review, and that's how I feel. That's my 2 cents. And this is probably my last time wearing these big old glasses. But Reese said I look like, who else? Buckwheat? He said I look like somebody. So, again, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next 2 cents. I love you all. Good night.